G'day, guys. Welcome to the Home Invest School podcast. And as I always say, if you're new and you're someone that's come in new, go to the YouTube channel, the Home Invest School podcast YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, become part of the family. So when the countdown comes on, bang, you're in here with us. And smash the like button, smash the heart button, encourage all of the guests that come in, get hyped up. I'm going to jump into the chat in a minute. I'm going to whack it into the chat. So if you want to say hello, yell out where you're coming in from, ask a question, jump in the chat and do it. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce our special guest. Now, we've done a bit of a series. We've had some people about organic lead generation. We've had Janae Ortiz come in about organic Facebook stuff with your websites and Patrick with blogging on your website and all that sort of organic networking type stuff. Now, this is the final piece to the puzzle. Our special guest, who I'll introduce in a sec, it takes relationship marketing to the next level. And I really wanted to bring her in just to finish this almost like a little series off. So her name is, I've got to pronounce it right, Yulia Mamaeva. And she is an entrepreneur. She's been in businesses for years and an entrepreneurial personality. She's now a business mindset coach who specializes in NLP, but she has a product from her real estate background. She's got a product that I think is amazing, and we sort of call it between ourselves. We call it it's probably built. It's what would you? Well, actually, I'll introduce and I'll let her do all the talking. Yulia, thank you for coming into the podcast, and yeah, I'll get you to firstly explain the product and basically the tag that we gave it, which is, I suppose, organic relationship building.
Yes. Thank you, Graham. It's a pleasure to be here. Very nice to meet you, everyone on the call, on the podcast. And yeah, this product, this tool really is relationship building, marketing, a relationship marketing tool. So it's an app on your phone. You can use it on your phone. You can use it on your computer. But this app allows you to send individual photo postcards, greeting cards, gifts to people in your network, to stay in touch, to say hello, to congratulate them, to meet them. If you meet them in person, you can take a picture, you can send them a picture. Nice to meet you. You can put your information there. They'll remember you this way. It's a very nice tool. It's really, I say it's like the way to spread kindness in the world. I use it in my coaching business. I use it in my other businesses, and I absolutely love it. It's also it just brings joy to the sender and to the receiver, and this way people remember you. Like we all know, people do business with people who they know, like, and trust, if they remember you in the moment when they need what you have to offer. And this is the way to stay top of mind, very organically, very non-invasively. Like, instead of pinging people on a schedule and sending emails or direct marketing or whatever, you just reach out in kindness and it comes back to you.
And we'll go into that. I just want to stop there and we'll put it in reverse. People have probably noticed you've got a bit of an accent, and I think last time I spoke to you, in an interview, I said we may need subtitles because I've got an Australian accent, and you've got, I think your background is from is it a Russian accent that you've got?
Yes, it is.
And so what we'll do is we'll stop there and we'll get you to go back and just tell us your backstory, how you ended up in now Boise, Idaho, in the United States. So give us a bit of your backstory, which you've obviously come from another country, and you can run through your journey to sort of where you've got to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. So I came to this country about 17 years ago with a law degree, but I never wanted to be an attorney. It was my parents, they encouraged me to get a degree, which I did, and then I left. So I came here, and first place I ended up is a ranch in Nevada because I love horses. I wanted to be around horses, and that's where my heart brought me. I lived there for about 3 years. I started my business there, retail business, met my business partner. So we ran the store in that small town in Nevada for about 2 years. Then we took it online, and I really built a team and took most of the products onto online platform. And after a few years, we closed all the other stores and just kept the online business, which allowed me to kind of semi-retire by the age of 30, because we had a team, we had warehouses, we had all the infrastructure in place. We still do, but in addition to that, I decided I wanted to do another venture in business, and I went into real estate. I signed up with the real estate education company, which provided amazing education. And in the process, I done one deal, but in the process, I found out that it's really not for me. I kind of got emotionally burned by trying to do something that was not resonating with me, really. And looking for help, I came across NLP. So when I actually experienced NLP tools on myself, I felt like, in short, it's like I felt like I'm a fish that's trying to climb a tree, and instead there is a beautiful lake where I can go and swim. So instead of attempting to do real estate from that point on, I I stopped. I exited. I still have friends, and I love my real estate community, so hang out with them periodically. But I went into NLP. I got trained. I put my time and energy into mastering those tools. And now for a few years, I've been doing NLP coaching and business mindset coaching using these tools, because it changed my life. Literally, it was like 180. So now I help other people to experience it too and to break through their blocks. And along the way, like I mentioned, I use cards, postcards, gifts in my coaching business. Most of my business is referral based, because people, again, know, like, and trust me, and they send me referrals. So I also shared these cards with people in real estate, my real estate community, and they loved it. So I'm happy to be here and share it with your community as well, because it's an amazing tool that, yeah, makes a difference.
Yeah. No, that's it's an amazing story. Look, you've got a law degree. You've come from another country. You obviously love the states, and you know you've settled in beautifully. You've been there for a long time now, and yeah, you follow your passions. You don't follow what someone else thinks you should do, or if it doesn't fit right with you, you pivot and follow your passions. And I love your analogy about a fish climbing a tree. That's a great analogy. And then you realise there was a pond over there, so that's an awesome analogy. I'm going to use that one. But no, that's fantastic. And one of the big points out of that is you realise it wasn't sort of your thing. It was
Mhm.
not working for you, and it's you've from something that probably wasn't a great experience, you've gone across, and then you found the next path. So you've sort of pivoted and gone into coaching, and as a part of that, you obviously coach people in real estate and all sorts of businesses, because entrepreneurs or I think we spoke about this before. A lot of real estate people are entrepreneurial thinkers, and if they get blocked, that's not good for business. They need to keep flowing. They've got to be creative. They've got to be constantly have their mind flowing with ideas and everything. So that's where you come in and you work with them. So that is real estate based, because not only you work with business people, but a lot of the people are in real estate, and you've got a network there already. And then finally, you still are involved with real estate people because of the product that you're about to show us, which I think is absolutely amazing. I met you a few months ago, and I was like, wow. And I reached back out to you and said, I think that's one of the best things, simplest things I've ever seen. So I'll get you to, I'll get you to, I don't know if you want to talk about it first and then do some screen share, and I'll let you navigate that. But I want you to show the product, because it's just such a simple thing. And then you can tell the advantages of building or standing out and building a personal relationship with someone, as opposed to, like you said, just email blasting people. So there's a
Yeah.
fair bit there. So I'll let you do it whichever way you want to do. Talk about it first, and then just let me know if you want to screen share, and just show the audience, you know, how much impact this has, and how people remember you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'll just show you, the picture worth a thousand words. So I'll just show
Yeah,
you. This is some of the postcards that I send to people, and they're sent from the phone, from an app on your phone, but they're physical, actual postcards, like with a stamp on the back.
yeah,
So you can send with the plan. There are different plans, but I'm on the unlimited plan. You literally can send unlimited postcards, postage included, anywhere in the world. And for example, like I was on vacation with my friend, somebody took a picture of us, I sent it to her. So now she has a physical picture.
Yeah.
Same thing, just, hanging out with friends, meeting people at real estate conferences or any other conferences, meeting people online. Like you can send a nice to meet you card this way.
Yeah.
You can put the picture, something nice about, how you met, your information. And on the back, I just say, just a note to say I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, you send cards with pictures of the people, they'll keep them. And nobody else is doing it. That's another thing. It's very unique. Like this, my friend also in real estate, he's doing a lot of other like amazing things. So I sent him a card with all his adventures. You can send 3-panel cards. Like this one is my friend has a dog, and I sent her pictures when she first saw the dog until they won
Yeah.
competitions. Now the dog is retired, and like the whole story, she said she was crying and her husband was on the verge of tears when they received it.
So
So
it's very personal photos and stuff like that. Yeah.
yes, 100%. Like this card was a conference in Orlando. Send it to people also who I met there. They have a memory, and it's a personal touch. It's a way to reach out in kindness, and people will remember it. And um, we all know the phrase: "If you help enough people achieve their goals, you'll achieve yours. If you send enough positivity into the world, it'll come back to you."
So, I mean, even in this, we're talking here on a podcast. I could take a screenshot and I could say, have all the photos surrounded by the Home Invest School podcast and say, Yulia, thank you very much for being a special guest on the show. Send you the postcard. I don't have to. It can just be sent from anywhere in the world. It's a picture. It gets put on there, and it's to you. And then you can put that on your fridge, and you'll always remember that when Graham contacts you and says, "Oh, look, is there any chance I can get you back on the?" I'm at the front of mind. No one else has done it except for Graham and Home Invest,
It's
and so that's what we're talking about. And like you said, you went to a conference and you sent them to people that you were probably on a table with at a conference. So they're going to remember you. They're going to forget the other people that are on the table 6 months later, but you're going to be on the pin board in the office, or you're going to, oh, Yulia was a lovely person and she sent us this. So that's sort of the concept, isn't it?
Yes, yes, and you nailed it. It's people put these cards on the refrigerator, and it's in short how to own real estate on somebody's refrigerator for all the real
Yeah.
estate people here.
That's
Because yes, and if you're an agent or investor, people will remember you. They'll reach out to you next time they need this kind of services and help.
yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Now, I'm not sure. Have you got something that you can some
Yeah,
examples? I mean, you've showed us the physical examples, but have you got anything you need to screen share? Because I can put that up on the screen for you,
yeah,
and
that would be great.
I think you can. I think you might be able to do it from your end if you want to try
Um,
that
yeah,
first.
it's working.
Yep,
Okay, I'm going to
and
start
I
sharing
just have to
now.
approve it. See, we're getting right onto it at Home Invest with the tech now. We're all over it. Took us a little while. We've had some awkward pauses in other podcasts, but we're getting there now. So that's great. Here it is. It's up on my screen. Thanks, Julia. I'll add that to this. There we go. Beautiful. I'll let you take over.
Okay. Okay, great. So this is a screen showing different cards templates available in the system already. Like the cards I showed you guys, I made them from scratch. I made them from my own picture. This library has amazing, templates for every occasion. You can just type in what you're looking for, and it's here. You can fill in the pictures or use existing templates. Also, I mentioned you can send gifts, which is also a very special personal touch. Whether you want to say thank you for a referral or for a transaction, or you can send gifts obviously to your friends and family. You can attach gift to the card and it's all sent like literally in the app on your phone. You make a few clicks and somebody is receiving this beautiful box with a little
Yeah.
souvenir or cookies, brownies, or they have gifts that are a little.
Yeah. So they're the ones that I would probably send to Nate, are they? When I'm really trying to make an impact and send him a card and some cookies. Oh, I think you're frozen up there, Yulia. Yeah, well, I guess they're the ones that for the very special guests you're trying to make an impact. So, like Yulia said, you could be at a conference and there's someone there that you think, you know, you might be on a table with a heap of people. So you send everyone a postcard. You've done some selfies. You've done some pictures on your phone. You do it direct off your phone, and then from there, there might be one particular person that you really want to network with. You could send them some cookies on top of that, or a present or anything. So all that can be done pretty much from your phone. So I think Yulia's just dropped out, so she'll be back in a minute. But yeah, it's an amazing product. It really struck me because I do a fair bit of networking, being so far away from the in another country and doing virtual stuff. It's very I know myself. I've actually had success with standing out a little bit because obviously I've got an accent. So I say, I'm that Aussie guy. So that's something that is a point that someone remembers you. But on top of that, if you go with a card and it's a picture of, maybe in my case, the podcast, and I've had a special guest on, and you send them a really personal message, something you spoke about, it might be, and when Yulia comes back on, she's got people that have picked up wholesale deals where they've been driving for dollars, and they've taken a picture of the property and sent the person a postcard. So it's just amazing. It's so simple, and I just wanted to finish off this segment. Here she is. She's back in the green room. I'll let her back in. All right, you're back. I don't know what happened there, Yulia. It might have been the internet.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, must have been.
No.
I was trying to share my history of some cards I sent, but sorry.
No, that's okay. If you want to go back into screen sharing, that's okay. I was just having a bit of a chat with the audience because I get excited about products like this because they're so simple and they make such an impact, and they are very personal. And the more positivity, like you said, you can spread in the industry, it's better anyway. But I was just talking about the driving for dollars too. I mean, if you see a property and you want to take a photo, it's very similar to some of those apps where you can do driving for dollars. But if you're not someone that does that all the time, you've still got that ability to do it within your market where you are. So there's just a heap of things you can do with it, and I just think it's a great personal touch on top of all the podcasts that we've been doing lately on networking, on organic stuff, and building relationships, which is so important. I mean, even people are building relationships with realtors now, so you can send a card to a realtor. You stand out. Realtors get calls all the time off investors, so you've got to stand out. So it's amazing. And like I know I've watched a bit of Grant Cardone and people like that, and they say you have to make an impact and you have to stand out, and this is a perfect way to do it. So yeah, I was just sort of sharing that. You disappeared off the screen, so I just thought I'd share that with the viewers. But all right, you're back. Did you want to jump back into some screen sharing to show, or was that pretty much all you wanted to show?
I can share real quick some of the cards that I sent just to show more examples. But I absolutely agree with you on, your network is your net worth, and people who you connected
there we go. We're back.
Make the biggest impact. So can you see my screen now?
Yep, that's clear. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So these are some of the speakers at the conference that I met, and I sent them nice to meet you different cards. Send them cards with them being on stage. For some of them, it was the first time, so that made an impression. I took some selfies with them. Then I sent happy birthday cards to people. Like this one, a friend of mine was on vacation in national parks. It's Zion and Bryce. So I put together some pictures that he posted on social media and just created a card. Every summer has its own story, and it's pictures of his family. He keeps it. He loves it. So another friend of mine just lost his dog, so I sent him a loving memory of his dog. So the point is, you can send cards not only in business. You can just send cards that touches people with what's important for them. And also back to what you were saying, relationships are so important. Really, if you think about it, anything good that happened in your life, if you trace it back, it will go back to a relationship. it will go back to a person who helped this happen, whether they made an introduction, done something for you. So everything is about relationships.
Yeah.
And this is an
Yeah.
amazing tool that allows you to really sincerely reach out and not template it, not how they, teach you in marketing schools. It's sincere touches.
And another part of it too is you put a message on there as well. It's not just the picture; it's the message, and that's what's also personalised. That's the second part to it is if you have, like a moment, you share a moment at a conference, for instance, and there's something said, and you just have a wow moment together, and you put that wow moment on the card with a selfie from the conference. That is so much more impactful than just sending a card with a picture. So it's just, and I was just saying when you dropped out that you might send a card to all the people on the table, but there might be one person that you're really connected with there, and you want to, there's something there that you might want to build a stronger connection. It might be really in your niche, in your business. So you might send them the card, a special message on the card, and then a present. So that's the next level. So yeah, it's amazing. And this, I mean, you're trained in NLP. You know how the mind works. You know how people work, and people work on connection and emotion. So this, it's just amazing. And we will talk a little bit at the end about mindset and NLP. I'll get you, because that's very in the social media space, courses and that, and now it's been amalgamated to Home Invest. Mindset is one big thing that all the coaching staff and everyone drills into the students, because it's so important to have the right mindset, and we'll talk about that sort of when we finish on this topic. But yeah, so it's a great networking tool. Do you find, like, we're talking mainly real estate here, but in some of the other businesses, do people use it just in other businesses as well, just for that same sort of connection?
Yes, absolutely. It can apply in any business that would benefit from repeat business and from
Yep.
referrals.
Yep.
Because people who love you and your product and they remember you, they'll come back for more and they'll send people your way. And it also is an amazing tool to follow up. Like after you met somebody, after you send them this nice to meet you card and maybe a gift or something, like how do you stay in touch? Yeah, you can send a DM, you can send an email, you can do different things, but you can send them a happy birthday card, you can send
Yeah.
them a Merry Christmas card, you can send them a just because card. And this way, when you need something, you don't reach out just like when you need something, because then people will probably not
Yeah.
pick up so eagerly. But after you stayed in touch and you provided so much value up front and positive emotions, like you say, it's all, we know it from NLP, it's anchoring. If you send a card and it provides a positive, evokes positive emotion in the person, and then your name is attached to it, the positive emotions now attached to you. They feel good about you. And next time
Yeah.
you need something, you reach out, they're happy to help.
Yeah. That's. I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because Tony Robbins is one of the people that brought it out into the mainstream, the NLP, and
Mhm.
a lot of people know about it. And part of that is he teaches anchoring, that you've got to anchor things in people's memory, and we said you've got to make an impact, you've got to stand out from the crowd. There's a lot of noise out there, and that's what has been taught at Social Media Blueprint for a long time. How do you make a difference? How do you do ads and that attract people? Well, this is the same thing. It's anchoring. You're anchoring in someone's mind and creating an anchor there from the start, and everyone else just gets forgotten. It's like you speak to someone and 2 weeks later you forgot you've even spoken to them, and that's could be someone that you do business with. And so it's just amazing. And we'll go into that. We'll go into the mindset and briefly into the NLP, because, like I say, I know a lot of real estate investors, and they're creative thinkers. They're entrepreneurial thinkers. I mean, there's a lot of people that are facts and figures people, but you have to be pretty creative and you have to be pretty self motivated. Now, if you get blocks while you're an investor, it's not good for business, is it? So that's when the NLP comes, because I've always heard, you've got to unblock your subconscious and you've got to work on your subconscious, but no one really gives you the tools to do it. Whereas NLP has got a clear message, hasn't it? It's got a clear message, and there's a clear procedure, and you can actually unblock stuff. Do you want to just elaborate on that a little bit with your experience with the NLP?
Yes, yes. NLP has very specific tools and techniques that help to overcome different blocks. And blocks can be different. It can be emotions like I'm too afraid to do this. This is just scares me, or or it can be limiting beliefs like, well, I don't believe in myself. I don't believe this is gonna work. Or if sometimes when we dig deeper, people it comes up like, well, I don't believe I deserve success, and
Yep.
it's ingrained so deep in us. And LP helps to bring it to surface and actually release it, go to the root, go to the time when it was created, and from there release it so it's not holding you back going forward. Blocks can be self-sabotaging, like part of me wants this, a part of me wants that, and then you pulled into different directions. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk real estate with this. A real estate investor could have something deep down in their subconscious that they just can't talk to sellers.
Mhm.
They do all the work, and then the seller rings, and they go into panic. And when they get on the phone, they freeze up. Now that could be from a subconscious, or that is from a subconscious block. Now that could be don't talk to strangers when you're a kid or something, or could be as simple as that. The other one you used is I don't deserve this. So for some reason you just can't get over the finish line with a lot of stuff. So this is a really interesting topic because you know people that are in this space are putting so much time, effort, and money into it that you really and this is something that I've learned by doing a podcast is even coaches have coaches. You need someone there, whether it's a mindset coach or a real estate coach, someone there that's keeping you accountable. And when you get stuck, they can get you through it. So I'm a big believer in I think a mindset coach is really important because they can help you. It doesn't matter what the tools are, whether it's real estate or whether it's business over here. If you're not believing in yourself or you're not following through because there's some sort of block, you just it's not worth even doing it, really, is it? You can know all the nuts and bolts of how things work, but if there's something blocking it, so yeah, I really think it's important, and I'm sure a lot of people that are watching, have had real estate coaches, and some might have actual mindset coaches. So I think it's really important. I played a lot of sport, and I always had a coach, and the coach always kept you accountable and always pushed you and made sure they would get the best out of you. If you were struggling, they'd come over and they'd say, "How are we going to deal with this?" So, coaching isn't a new thing. It's been around for a long time in sport, and um, even as a tradesman, I did an apprenticeship, so I had my mentors that taught me. The masters taught me how to do it, and so yeah, it's very important. So, do you want to just share with us, just before we sort of finish up, the type of people? I mean, have you worked with real estate people that have had those type of blocks where they've just said, I can't talk to people. I can talk to people until I get on the phone and then I freeze up. Have you had any situations like that?
Yeah, yeah, I did. And this is one of the biggest ones when people, when cold calling and talking to people, talking to sellers, it's one of the biggest fears. It's fear of embarrassment, it's fear of rejection. It all comes up. And like you say, it's either from childhood programming, like don't talk to strangers, or something happened and way back when, you talked to somebody and there was a bad outcome, and now you don't want anything to do with it. So absolutely, it comes up a lot in real estate, working with real estate professionals. So yes, we do. I use timeline techniques to
Yep.
actually bring it back, bring it up, and release from the root, and release all the other, consequent events, to where now it's not a big deal. It's no longer an issue. Um, so they can actually go and make calls, which is essential.
Yeah.
So and other things come up too, the various, and on the deepest level, really, it's either I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, or imposter syndrome and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we release that as well, because when it happened, when something happened when you're a child, you're too young, you're too inexperienced to deal with it, and it's a big deal, but it gets stuck there. Now we're
Mm.
grown up, we have all the experience, we have all the support, we can deal with it, but it still feels like that child in us is afraid of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So when we go back and using NLP and releasing it from the root, it's no longer an issue. It's like sometimes even clients cannot remember what we were working on,
Yeah,
or they're like, yeah, that was it an issue? It's almost like it's not them anymore. So it's
yeah,
amazing. I experienced it myself when, like I said, when I needed help, and it just absolutely made a huge impression on me. And the thing
yeah,
is, this stays. It's not something that will wear off or go away.
yeah,
It's something that
yeah.
is
Permanent.
it's part of you. Yeah, changes.
Yeah. Yeah, the question that I just thought of then was, can you do it virtually? Like, if I was to work with you, can you do it on Zoom? I mean, is it that
Oh,
powerful that it can be done? I mean, obviously, you're in Boyce, Idaho, one part of the country. If clients want to work with you and they're in Ohio, or they could be in, down in Florida or something, you can use these techniques as long as they can hear you and see you. It still has the same impact.
exactly. Yes, I work with clients internationally. I have two clients in UK right now.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah, we
amazing.
do it over Zoom, and yeah, no problem.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyone that watches this that thinks that they're stuck in certain areas, there's a solution. Is there now? I'll put you on the spot here. Is there any little, like a little thing they can do to start off? I don't know, any affirmations or anything that you think really works, or do you have to sort of commit to going through, like working with someone that specializes in it?
That's a good question. I can give one NLP technique kind of briefly that
Yeah,
can be used. Well, we already talked about anchoring. That's one of them.
anchoring.
But
Yep,
I'll give a
yep.
different one. And the way NLP works, it works with unconscious, subconscious mind, and it's like zeros and ones of programming. Many people can use a computer, but not many people can go to zeros and ones and reprogram it. That's what NLP does. So
Yeah,
one of the techniques, for example, if you think of something that scares you, and it's you bring up a picture in mind of that fear, for example, fear of making calls. And as you see this picture in your mind, it's probably big and bright and center and like vivid, and it's a movie, and all those characteristics. So what you can do is you can change the characteristics of this picture. Like, don't change the picture, but shrink it, make it small, make it like a postage stamp size in your mind. Move it out in the distance. If it's close, move it out in the distance. If it's in color, make it black and white. And as you do those changes, pay attention to the feeling, pay attention to the fear. You will see how it goes down almost to zero. Like, you will no longer be experiencing this emotion associated with that um,
yeah, yeah. I
activity.
can see. So you're diminishing the power of the visual and the color and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. Well, there you go. I had to try and squeeze a gold nugget out of you there. We got the gold nugget with the personalized cards, but I wanted to try and get one little thing that people could just practice and think, wow, this really works. And then they may look at, reaching out to someone like yourself to learn NLP, or not learn NLP, but to use it to unblock anything that they're struggling with. So I think it's an amazing topic. I love it. That's probably a topic for another day. But look, we'll cut it off there. I appreciate you coming on and showing that product, because it was sort of, it rounds off what we've been doing with organic lead generation and all that sort of stuff. And I just thought it was a very personal touch. And it might not be for everyone, but I thought a lot of people might sort of look and go, "Wow, that's something I can use as a real tool in my business." So, obviously it's not expensive. It's not like a lot of stuff out that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. So, if anyone wants to reach out to you personally, I mean, obviously, they can reach out to you through your Facebook thing, or message you or something. Did you want to have you got any other contact points that you'd like to say, as far as if they're looking for a mindset coach, or if they're looking for someone to work with?
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to reach out to me on Facebook. It's Yulia Mamaiva on Facebook, and it's pretty unique. So
A
you
unique
will find,
name, yeah.
yeah. And if you want to learn NLP, we'll be happy to connect you with my mentor, because he is the one who trained me, who taught me, and he has virtual trainings that people can
Yep.
take if they want to learn NLP.
Yeah.
Or if somebody needs help with mindset, we'll be happy to have a strategy call. There is no charge. And if I can help you, will be great. If not, I can connect you also with a different coach that will be a better fit for you, because we have a very nice community of experienced coaches.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to help in any way I can.
Oh, that's awesome. And if anyone wants to reach out via me, anyone that wants to message me, you can even leave a comment on at the YouTube channel where this video will be. Just reach out to me and I can connect you as well. And with the postcards too, I've jumped in, so I'm a fan. I like I said, I saw I met Yulia months ago and she had this product and I said, right, I've got to get. I love this. This is that personal touch. So you can connect through me with that, and I can direct you to my website that'll have a link there that you can, if you want to check it out. So yeah, even if you want to speak to Yulia, reach out to me. If you can't find her on Facebook, and we'll get you hooked up. But great topic, and thank you for everyone for listening, because mindset is such an important thing. We skip over it. Every coaching course, everything has it, and people go, yeah, I don't want to know about it, I just want to get onto this. And then down the track, they've learnt all the nuts and bolts, but they get stuck. And it's happened to me. Yulia had the same problem. That's how she got into NLP. It's a common theme. So, I mean, even if you guys check out some books on it or read up on it, and then if you realize, wow, this could have a real impact, this could take me to the next level. Because if you're trying to scale your business as well, you might have done really well to get to where you are, but scaling to the next level, you might have a limiting belief. So great stuff. Thank you, Yulia, for coming in. I always love talking to you, and I think I feel, you must put a spell on me. I feel positive when I've spoken to you. I feel in a good mood. So it must be, like you said, it's about positive energy. But guys, like I said, the cards are amazing, and that's what we're trying to do in this business is stand out and be of service to people. Create good connections and good vibes, and we're all looking for little tiny edges to, I guess, be different than the other 10 million people out there yelling and screaming. So this is just one example. So thanks for joining us, Yulia. Thanks for coming in, and it's always a pleasure. And we'll probably see you around the traps again. So I encourage people to reach out to you about the NLP if that's something they want, and I'll be talking to you soon anyway. So thank you for coming in.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Graham. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. No worries, guys. We're checking out from the Home Invest School podcast. And remember, if you're new, go and subscribe. And when we go live, you'll get notified. And by the time the countdown's finished, you're in with us. And we're just talking about topics. So we'll go back. We'll go back into some more specific real estate stuff next week. But this sort of little series has been about building connections and networks, which is really important, especially when you're starting off. You need connections and networks. So thanks for joining us. And all right, guys, we're checking out from Yulia and Graham. And thank you for joining us.